vibrations. We are in here, and my lovely host, you know, the best host of all the hostess of the hostess, with the love coach, making love connections during this quarantine time.
Well, thanks for having me again. I'm Coach Nick Love. I'm a dating and relationship coach. I help my clients create a strategic dating plan so they can be successful at dating and date well. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Coach Nick Love across the board. Also, you can check out my website, CoachNickLove.com, and also make sure you hashtag me. Hashtag Ask Coach Nick.
Yes, that is cute. Okay,
Thanks.
I'm liking that.
I like yours too. And thank you for having me again.
Hey, you always saying thank you.
Because you know I'm all about showing gratitude.
Gratitude. That's a universal thing. You know what I mean? Thank you for being here, accepting the offer. It's such a pleasure to have you here. You know what I mean? Like, I've never ever met anybody like you in my entire life. You know, I just want to thank the universe for sending me the love doctor.
Right.
So tonight, I'm really into tonight's show and the discussion and what it's going to be as far as the men are putting too much pressure on the lovely ladies that they are in relationships with. How do you feel about that before we dive on into it? Give me a heart and a thumbs up and let me know you here.
I don't know about if it's men putting a lot of pressure on women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm someone who believes that before you enter a relationship, you should definitely have certain conversations. And I think a lot of times people have inappropriate expectations on their partner, if it's man or female, because they don't actually talk about their expectations before entering into a relationship. So I think in order for us to avoid a lot of disappointment, that we need to have these conversations and discuss our expectations. So this is what I expect from a girlfriend, this is what I expect from a wife, and then y'all have those conversations about expectations, and then you come up with agreements. So you can both be aware of what's expected of me, and can I actually do what is expected of me? Can I be this person?
Can I follow these goddamn guidelines that this person is putting on me? You know what I'm saying? Like, the pressure of being in a relationship and all that comes with it. I mean, I feel like in a relationship that as a woman is so much pressure placed on us as far as man wants you to cook, clean, take care of the kids, satisfy them sexually. Don't say nothing. If they paying all the bills, don't ask no questions. Just do what you came to do. What they say, a woman is supposed to be barefoot, naked, and in the motherfucking kitchen. I disagree. This is 2020, okay? Half the people out here ain't looking for love or a relationship. They just looking to hook up, okay? So I feel like a lot of the hookups is what also is probably making it a little difficult for the pressures of the relationship and the pressures that women are feeling, and most importantly, like the wives in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, the pressure is out here because motherfucking Joanne from around the corner, she only want some of his sausage. She don't need him to do nothing else. So then he come home and he getting confused because he thinking that Becky is Joanne, and it all runs together. And it's like, hold up. Don't come in here giving me your little side bitty expectations because you got an attitude with her. So you coming in here yelling at me. You know what I'm saying? That's just
I think
what
that
I'm saying.
it goes like someone said it's vice versa. I think it is. I think that if a woman feel pressure on her, maybe she did not have those conversations. So the it's the responsibility is on both people. You both need to bring these conversations to the table. Like, look, this is what my expectations are. You let me know your expectations, and then we come to agreements. Agreements is definite. They need to be established to make everyone feel safe in a relationship. And so I just know what is expected of me. Because if I don't know what's expected of me, I'm going to do me, and that might not be something that you're used to. That might not be something that is going to make a relationship work.
But I'm going to do me in the relationship anyway, and still have the respect of being in a relationship. I feel like sometimes, like, a lot of people can't do both because if you let somebody do them, someone might take it a little too far. But if you have somebody who, look, I'm secure in this relationship, I'm not going to make you feel any kind of way in this relationship, because I feel like you have to have a life in your own identity and personality outside of your relationship. Some people don't know how to juggle being in a relationship and still having a friendship. We all know that one friend that only called when her and Marquez they got into
But when
argument.
I say do you, I'm just saying, like, some people are used to being single, so when they're in a relationship,
definitely.
they don't really know what's expected of them or how to act in a relationship. So those ground rules need to be established early on, so you can be like, okay, this is what's expected of me. I might say to my partner, someone I'm dating, like, look, if we living together, I expect you to be home by 2 a.m.
Oh, you got curfew.
I'm just saying, everyone has their own expectations. So if I expect you to be home at 2 a.m. and you agree to this, then I'm going to hold you to that.
You're going to hold them accountable.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to really get upset with people when you never express to them, hey, these are my expectations, and if you agree to it, then I can hold you accountable. But before you express that, then you can't. I don't feel like you really can hold someone accountable.
I feel like you can hold anyone that's over the age of 18 accountable when you get into a damn relationship. Maybe let's say 21. We all are able to make conscious decisions. What they say, a kid know right from wrong at the age of 6.
Right, but you're holding them accountable for something that you just assume that they would know that this is what's expected of them.
So you don't think that a lot of people know how to be in a relationship or what comes with being in a relationship?
I think a lot of people assume when they enter into relationships like, oh, he should know this or she should know that. It's like, no, they don't know that. They might have handled this differently with Keisha. Now they with Miss Vibration, so they doing what was good, okay for
you're not gonna do what you did with Keisha and me.
So they doing what was acceptable for Keisha instead of what's acceptable behavior for you. So then that's why you need to have certain conversations, I think. Yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, yeah, you can have those conversations and you can get that established from like the very, very, very beginning. But again, at the same time, it is like the world that we live in today, you know, the expectations and the standards of being in a relationship is so low. Like, there's so many people out here who get a thrill.
But it's so low because that's what people accept.
Yeah, but what I'm saying too, like, there's so many people that get thrills out of other people's pain and causing other people's pain. You know what I'm saying? You somebody go out here and mess with your man or come disrupt whatever you got going on before they look at themselves. The whole time is like, bitch, well, where your man at? Oh, you can't find them. Okay.
Well, it's not about the side piece ever. Really.
I mean, yeah, but what I'm
because the side piece don't owe your relationship.
No,
anything.
I'm just saying that the is a lot of pressure in relationships because there are so many women and men who don't have any standards or morals, and they set the bar low to where as though it can get mixed and screwed that you thinking everybody is gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Is gonna accept anything that you give. Right. What actually is just like you have to have the open form and the communication. I think that when men are in a relationship and different things occur in the relationship, and when trust is broken or trust has to be rebuilt, I feel like that the woman is the one that's able to stand strong and say, okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to figure this out. Whereas though a man can't really handle it. I mean, tell me if I'm lying. You know, I feel like a man can do something. And then it's like you're supposed to be forgiving, and because I guess we have that nurturing nature and different things like that. Versus it's like when they catch you doing something, or if something comes to them, it's like, oh hell no, you was dead wrong. I don't know why you did that. I'm out of here.
But I feel like that's if you're in a relationship with someone that's immature, if they just feeling like I can do this and you're supposed to accept this, but if you mess up, then I'm out. That's saying a lot about the partner that you picked.
Yeah, it does say a lot about the partner. Right. It does say a lot about the partner that you pick. But I like to look at it like in the real times, because
these are the real times.
Deal with people who have intentions.
But people are
I deal with people who are still out here.
People are still out here having healthy relationships.
Absolutely.
So and that's in the real time. So I know a lot of people say, you know, this is what's expected or this is what's acceptable. I always like to look at the individual. I always approach things from the individualistic approach. So if you're an individual who is accepting certain types of behavior, then that's what you'll get. If you're an individual with standards and you make your standards and your boundaries clear early on, then you'll get with someone that's probably going to respect you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But we do have things that do occur in relationships to where as though it can be hard, like to rebuild that trust, to get things back to normal, and to have things going like that.
I definitely think relationship takes work.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with that too. But it's like I like to also look at it from the different people that I encounter, the different people who share their things with me, and it's like everybody out here is not in such, you know, a so healthy relationship, and these are different things, and that they
the thing about that is like when my friends come to me with that, I always hold them accountable, and I hold them to the fire. Like, well, if this is what's going on, is this what you're accepting? What was the clear, established ground rules that you guys set when you guys started dating or got into a relationship. And a lot of times people don't have these conversations, and I know that it doesn't sound. I know it doesn't
infidelity
sound.
and cheating is not something that
but-
you have to put down on a guideline when it comes to a relationship. I shouldn't have to have a
Everyone always
conversation
go
with you
to
about
infidelity
being
and
faithful.
cheating, but I think that is something that should be down there. But that's just not the only thing that breaks up a lot of people
Right.
and homes. Is sometimes it's about managing your emotions.
Yeah,
but I think
money,
I think
the
that you should
kids.
always disclose with your partner, someone that you're dating, that cheating is a deal breaker for me. If you cheat, I'm out. If they cross that line, they know what to expect once you find out.
Absolutely.
So I think that is something that should be discussed and should be put down as your deal breakers, and that should be communicated to your partner. So I think that cheating, everything should be communicated with your partner. If you use something against me to hurt me that I told you is a sensitive spot for me, that might be one of your deal breakers. That should be communicated as well.
Right.
So yeah, cheating definitely should be communicated to someone that you're dating if that is a deal breaker for you. So I think that should be down on the paper. Some people can get over cheating and it's not that big of a deal. They say, oh, that's a physical connection. It wasn't an emotional connection. That's not a big deal for a lot of people. So
okay.
I think that a lot of conversations should be had that's not being had when people enter into relationships, and that's why people leave relationships or be so disappointed in relationships. Because they don't never communicate exactly what they want, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know what they want.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what they want, but even also when you communicate these things in a relationship, you know, and things go sour, everybody does not leave. So because you don't leave and because you do have these expectations or you have these deal breakers that you choose to have and discuss with somebody, and once that's broken, we do forgive and we do stay in situations and we will stay in them. Whether it has anything to do with cheating or finances or children or just making decisions. Me personally, I just feel, just my opinion, y'all can let me know if I'm wrong, I don't feel like men can really thoroughly handle the truth when it comes to certain situations. Women either though. No, I'm not trying to do all that, but women either. I'm just trying to make sure I touch on a lot of the things that people have inboxed me to ask me to like talk about. But like,
I would say if it's a man or woman and they can't handle the truth, then they probably have a low emotional intelligence. That plays a part.
but the
Like
truth, no, I'm not necessarily, because the truth cannot. Sometimes you can ask for the truth, but it may not be what you want.
Well, it might be a deal breaker for them.
Yeah.
But did they communicate that to that person that they're in a relationship with? This is a deal breaker for me. Because if they did, and then someone did that deal breaker, then they should expect that person to exit the relationship. However, once you have agreements can always be renegotiated.
Yeah, agreements can always be
Yeah.
renegotiated, but
So
again,
even if
we
you
are out
cheat-
here renegotiating.
Well, some people.
Some people are
Some
renegotiating, and then some people aren't renegotiating, and then you have those who go through different things, and it's just like, okay, me, I feel like if I'm in a relationship, I'm not gonna have a conversation with you about cheating or what you're supposed to do. Just like, you're supposed to know that, because we're having these conversations just by us talking. If we decide to be exclusive mean one or two. That don't mean multiple. So certain situations, I'm not about to have a conversation with no grown ass man that know what the hell being in a relationship is. You might not be able to follow, or you might not be able to hold up or communicate effectively sometimes, or different things like that.
But why
that's
wouldn't you have
fine.
the
We can get through
conversation?
that. But like infidelity and shit like that, I'm not having a conversation with no grown ass man
Did you
about
share candy coated
you're
donuts?
not supposed to be. That's the other girl stuff.
Sorry. Did you share candy coated
Look, you see, he playing today.
No, I was just saying, did you? I'm sorry, did you?
Yeah,
But I think that.
share it. Can you share it
but-
to the group
but-
for me, Grady? Share it to the group for me.
But why did
Grady.
you say you wouldn't want to have that conversation? You don't think it's a conversation that's worth having?
I've never had a conversation about being faithful. Like that. If I'm in a relationship with you, we know what that is. I have never talked or been in a relationship.
Have you ever
and
experienced
said,
infidelity?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
But I've never sat and said, hey, again, like I said, I was in a 17-year relationship. You know, we started out as kids all the way to adulthood. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. But I'm just saying that I not have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, I just want you to know that we together. You can't cheat on me. I can't cheat on you. And then I'm not, certain conversations I'm not having. I'm
But it's
sorry.
not about
Like,
I won't cheat on you, you
I'm
won't cheat
not-
on me. It's
I'm
about
not
how do you feel about infidelity? What if that was to happen in our relationship?
well, when it happened in my relationship in the past, like I stuck it out. You know, I stayed. It was 17 years. I was a little ass girl. You know what I'm saying? I met him when I was fucking 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it all depends for me, like where you are in your relationship. I think that anything is fixable, but however, I do know that a lot of people aren't in these type of situations where as though they're having these conversations and people are
But I
able
think
to
that's the
communicate
issue.
them. So that is
I think
one
that's
of
the
that
issue.
is
That's
one
why
of
the divorce
issues.
rate is 49%, because people are not having these conversations, and sometimes they enter into these relationships without having these ground rules established.
So when you marry somebody, you should have a conversation saying, "Hey, you know, by the way, we're married. You're not supposed to step out."
I think that you should have a lot of serious conversations. What are my deal breakers? My deal breaker might not be cheating. So I know that that's something that a lot of people bring up, but you stuck it out. And like you said, it wasn't a deal breaker for you while you was going through it. So I think that's still worth having a conversation about how do you feel about cheating? How do you feel about finances? Who's going to pay the rent? Who's going to manage this? And all of that. I think all these conversations need to be had before you enter into a relationship. Because I think I'm all about communicating my expectations so I won't end up with disappointment. And if I do end up with disappointment, I can then hold you accountable because you agreed.
Well, I'm gonna hold you accountable anyway.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna hold you accountable anyway.
But what do y'all think? Do you think that
Yes.
you should
Ask them.
communicate how you feel about finances, how you feel about infidelity, and your deal breakers? Some people might think that's common, like you say, like you shouldn't know this. But again, I think when you assume things, that's what gets you a lot of disappointment. So what do y'all think?
Yeah, what do y'all think? I think you should already fucking know certain things when you go into a relationship. And the coach say, no, you gotta have these conversations about some of these things
Because you know things that work for you. You don't
know.
know. Y'all haven't had these conversations and made agreements.
So you have to make it. So we have to make an agree. You have to make an agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all about agreements.
Y'all know I'm not fooling with him today.
No, so someone I dated, one of their friends, it was a professional man, professional woman. They ordered out, got takeout and all of that, usually after work. Once they got married, the man came home, the husband came home and said, where's dinner? Aren't you cooking? She said, no, I ain't cooked before. He said, but yeah, you were my girlfriend. You're now my wife. I expect my wife to cook for me.
Oh.
Now, they had these conversations early on.
Don't marry me.
I know, but she didn't even know that though, right? Because he didn't communicate that. He didn't say, these are my expectations in a wife. He didn't say that.
So this is where I think we're probably gonna knock heads, because I feel like, to me, the expectations or the goal or the trust and the conversations in a relationship, just because we get married, that's not gonna change. Just if you're my man, like for me, y'all know what, my man got to clean. Like that's one of my things.
Do you communicate that?
Yeah, I don't need no clean. I'm gonna communicate because you're gonna see it when I ain't cleaning
Like
up
early
around
on.
here. So
That's a huge surprise, but no, you're not cleaning up. But do you have that conversation like, I expect my men to clean?
yeah, I have a conversation. Yeah, my man is going to clean up my house.
But you saw that.
Our house.
But you said that's the
Our
conversation
house.
worth having, but not the conversation about cheating.
No. When you say you want to be in a relationship, when we say I do, I'm not about to have a conversation with you.
But some
about
people
you
feel like when a woman say
freaking
I
out.
do, they're gonna cook and clean.
Well, that's a conversation that they need to have. Because I'm going to tell you, I ain't cleaning. I'll cook. Then they say I clean. Don't get me wrong, because who the fuck cleaned up in here? I clean. But I'm just saying that it's okay for a man to clean as well. Like, who
Yeah,
makes
but you
these
expect
things
your men to
saying
clean. You
Well,
saying that
I-
you have these conversations, but the
Okay,
cheating
so
conversation
let's
is not
take-
worth
let's-
having.
Let's take the word expect out of it, because usually when I'm dating somebody or talk to them, oh, so what you like to do? Oh, this is what I like to do. I don't really like cleaning up too much. I mean, I don't like cleaning up, but I'll have to. But in a relationship, yeah, I would want my man to clean up. You know what I'm saying? I would want my man to cook. Like my household,
That's perfect.
my household is not
Right.
going to be
I like
ran
that. 'Cause a lot of
where
times when
they-
people-
oh, hold up, don't come here because you got me going now. Since you want me to explain,
No,
my household is not going to be ran where all Miss Vibrations is going to do is being here cooking, cleaning, going outside, taking care of the kids. No,
That's
we are in an
perfect.
equal
But just like you had that
50-50
conversation, and it
relationship.
wasn't, and the way you put it, it wasn't like it's this heated conversation or uncomfortable. You said, I expect this in a relationship. I expect this in a relationship. I expect my
Thank
partner
you.
to be faithful to me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think, but most people would agree like that conversation should be had.
You do have to know what you want going into a relationship.
And I think you have to express that to your partner.
You definitely
Yeah.
have to express that. But however, again, I feel like when the title of the relationship changes, then that I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, because it's like, damn, we got married and she just stopped doing everything, or he just stopped everything. 9 times out of 10, he probably did not stop. He was probably already doing that, and you ignored the shit because he had a ring on your finger, and you thought that it was going to change once he did decide to add the ring on your finger. He was already showing you all of these signs. If you was already coming home 2, 3 o'clock in the morning as my boyfriend, and it was okay then, and I trusted that you were out doing what you said you were doing because you're my husband now, I'm not going to say, well, you know, you better be in the house by 1:15. No, long as you doing what you're supposed to be doing. I feel like that's a lot of the issues. People get married, and then, or the titles of this relationship change, and then it's like, oh, so everything changes with it. No, I want you to treat me the same way you were treating me, which made me say yes to you in the first place.
Right, but before you get into
was that a word? Hold up,
because
Coach been trying to. You know, was that
no,
a word?
but you're talking about marriage. I'm saying, like, even before you say we are exclusive, you should have these conversations, because you need to know, your partner need to know how to talk to you in your love language. They need to know exactly what do you want. Like, what are your expectations? If someone don't want to know my expectations, that's the issue for me. You should want to know how to please me and what's expected of you.
Please me, baby. Look at him. You see what's on his mind.
I'm not even talking about sex. I'm talking about in all areas. So yeah,
a hit dog going holler. I wasn't talking about sex either.
But yeah, you definitely need to know that. I think that for me, that's just what I always encourage my clients to do, is definitely communicate your expectations and find out. You should be curious about your partner. How do my partner want to be pleased, or whatever, or show that he's appreciated. If you don't want to know that, that's an issue. Yeah,
absolutely. You definitely need to show appreciation to your partners and things like that, and to show that, you know, everybody's appreciated. It definitely shouldn't be a one-sided relationship. But however, there are a lot of one-sided relationships. Yes, we understand that these conversations should be had. These are things that they should have from the beginning. Okay, but I want to talk to the people who aren't having these conversations, and maybe this can help them understand why they are having some of the issues, or did have some of the issues. Also, like the pressures and stuff of being in a relationship, because that's what I'm talking about still. This is what this all goes together. Give me a heart and a thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. That, you know, social media can also play a part in that. I don't feel like social media ruined relationships. I feel like the people in the relationship already ruined ruined the relationship. But as far as the social media goes, it's like, it's a lot of temptation. It's a lot of temptation out here. And people, you know, you can post whatever you want to post. You know, everybody, if you go on Instagram, everybody got fucking $1 million in their bank account. If you know what I'm saying? If you look on Instagram, everybody's rich. Everybody's securing the bag, as they say. And it's like, you know, when you are in a relationship with, for people who may or may not know, or people who are dealing with people, or people who are interested, you have to also know and be able to understand the ones that are just trying to affect your relationship, all because they may have a hidden agenda, or because they may feel some kind of way. You have to also know how to deal with that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's not like you said, though. It's not about.
A lot of times people, I think we jump to conclusions when it comes to like the social media thing and different things like that, because you don't know the inside of that relationship. So sometimes, say for instance, if you jump or you butt your nose into another person's relationship and find out or give information or something and it's all wrong, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, I already knew about that. Matter of fact, did I tell you that me and my wife are swingers? Then it's like, oh, you looking like boo boo the fool. You get what I'm saying? All because maybe you had some hidden agenda, or because you were trying to talk to them. It's like, instead of constantly arguing about what's going on social media, on your boyfriend, or your husband's, or your wife page, like, sometimes you got to check the source that's trying to create a problem.
Well, I don't think it's a problem if it's not a problem for you and your partner. Like,
but I'm saying, for some people, we know that a lot of people have issues with social media in relationships.
You saying with like people jumping in their DMs and stuff?
Yeah, people.
Why is that an issue? If my partner, if someone jump in my DMs, I'm taken.
Yeah,
I'm not going to entertain you, so it's not a problem.
But everybody's
right.
Not
but that's what I'm saying. It's about, like you said, if your relationship is solid, no one else from the outside can disrupt your relationship. That's not going to happen. I'm in a relationship. You could be in my DM. It's not an issue for me. Delete.
No,
if you do it again, block.
Of course. Sometimes you do have people who jumped in relationships or tried to do things, and it's like, she still, or he's still here. Like, what was your point? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what was your point?
Right.
It didn't work. So it's just like, I just feel like a lot of times when it comes to like the social media world of it all, you can give and you can try, but if you don't know the source, the inside connection, the understanding, or whatever it may be with those two people, nine times out of 10, you might want to mind your business, because then you're going to turn around and be looking like a jackass, because they still going to be together. They still going to be moving on, and then you're going to be sitting here looking like messy Bessie. You get what I'm saying? So that's the other thing with that. What's the other thing on the list for
That's
today?
your topic.
Because
I don't know.
he just, the coach just has wanting to be going against me all night.
No, I think the good thing is that people watching this get two different perspectives, and like you said, for the people who don't have those conversations or who aren't having those conversations in their relationship, my perspective is I encourage you. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you're encouraged to have these uncomfortable conversations. I think that it's important that we get comfortable with having the uncomfortable conversations, especially when it comes to dating, marriage. I think when you marry someone, that's the biggest decision in your life. This is someone that you're going to invest in property with, go half on a baby with. This is someone who is going to be a part of your world completely. You know?
I have a question for you guys too. You probably can too. I don't know. He might not can answer this, but why is it that when you are pursuing somebody, male or female, you pursue them, you go above and beyond to pursue them, and as soon as you get them, you drop the ball, you fumble, you throw an interception? What's up with that? Like, you work so hard to get somebody, and then when you get them, it's like, what the fuck happened? You ain't do what you were supposed to do. We had these conversations. You know what I'm saying? We had these conversations. We talked about this. Can y'all answer that for me? David, Queen, Geneva, Shanae, somebody, man, female,
sometimes
whatever.
Sometimes people get comfortable in a relationship, and then you have to go back to the table and renegotiate the relationship.
What's getting comfortable in a relationship?
What you just said.
What's too comfortable in a relationship?
What you just said. People hunt you, and then once they get you, they don't do the things that they did to get you. So you have to say, hey, I still want to do date night. I still want to go out once or twice a week, however many times that you guys agree on. Then that's what will be agreed upon. And if they don't do that, then you can hold them accountable. Hey, I want to go out. Some people get in relationships and think that once I got you, then I don't have to work for it. But all my relationships, we have these uncomfortable conversations, and it's always a date night. Same day, same time, unless something comes up. So we both know there's no confusion when it comes to that. And I think that's the issue. Like, you got to have the conversations. Hey, I noticed for the last month we haven't been out. Like, so this need to be on the books.
Queen said, I need to know myself. Yeah, I'm waiting
for somebody
to answer it.
It's also about what's acceptable behavior for that person who remains in that relationship when things change. Then you have to talk about it. Communication is key, right?
Right. So that goes back to what I said. I feel, do you guys feel like that as well? That who can handle the truth better in a relationship, men or women? What do you think? Who can handle the truth better in a relationship, a man or a woman? I feel like women can. I feel like women can. I feel like we're a little more forgiving. Like I said, we are more understanding when it comes to a man be like, yeah.
And Grady says sometimes they realize they're not worth the chase. I agree with that too. Sometimes you chase someone, and when you get them, you be like, you know what? They're not that interesting. I'm not that interested anymore.
Yeah, Grady. Thank you, Grady. Brother Teran was in here. Teran always give you one. He just said because bitches ain't shit. You know how he did. But yeah, it's like you get it. It's like a cat and mouse game. Like I feel like when it comes to like cheating, it's a thrill. It's a rush sometimes. It's like okay, it's all fun and games, and it's like all right, but when your missus find out about it, right? When your girlfriend or your man find out about it, it's like, Taquana ain't even cute no more. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's the thrill of being caught. It's the excitement of things.
Some people do have are thrill seekers, but
he said, Grady said women handle the truth better. Grady, why do you think women can handle the truth better? Because you're a man. Tell me, why do you think women can handle the truth better than men? You know what I'm saying? I was just told by a man that women can handle the truth better because women will take their lies to their grave. I disagree. I just feel like, okay, maybe y'all men are just stupid with what y'all do sometimes.
Or maybe women just put up with the being mistreated. They put up with it more.
Why do you think?
Well, I think a lot of times in the black community, I think that people were taught to
I'm
put up with the
Asian,
men.
by the way.
I think sometimes people was taught to put up with men, like they saw Big Mama, they saw their mama sick by their husbands, even though they knew they were cheating and going out and stuff like that. You know, I think sometimes, I know in my family I saw that one of my cousins was in an abusive relationship. And her mother was like, he's a good man. And I'm thinking, like, how's he a good man? Just because he's paying the bills, he's at home with their son, but he's also abusing her and cheating on her.
Yeah.
So is that really is that really a good man?
Right.
So I think that's sometimes why people put up and stay, and then sometimes people just don't know their self-worth.
Yeah, I do agree with that too. I think that a lot of times in the community, since that's the word of the day, the community, in the black
we're on your community, in your community
in
right
the
now
black community
that you created.
My community is Asian and Japanese. It's like, no. My community is very diverse, but I do think that I feel like that a lot of the times, like the women get put through the black women get put through a whole lot in a relationship. Like again, the pressure to where as though it's like, you've seen everybody deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Some people tell you it's not about the romance, it's about the finance. You know, the older generation, well, as long as he's able to take care of the house, it doesn't matter what he does. And that mixes and screw you up from what you see. And do we end up being in abusive relationships, infidelity relationships, lowering self-esteem relationships, and different things like that. And then we're grown up to be adults trying to correct all this chaos. So now you're trying to do things the right way. And here you is 35 or 30, 25 or 40 trying to now change these generational curses from the things that you've seen, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, dang, it's taking you a lot longer and things like that. I feel like that, it was a post in Candy Coated Secrets that was discussing and talking about the black woman being the ride or die, you know, the black woman, you know, she putting up with this, she ain't saying that. And it was saying something about how the black man come home and mistreat the woman he with. I touched on it, I think I did last week. But outside in the street, smiling for his boss, smiling for his friends, smiling for his side biddy, smiling for everybody. And then when he come home, he treating you like crap. So that's why I just feel like that this term, ride or die, I don't know who the fuck came up with it. I don't know why they came up with it. But ride and die does not mean be riding pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, be riding hurt. Pain eventually rises to the surface. You know what I'm saying? That's why you do have to have a conversation in your relationship. Like I said, you can't just cover up all the fucked up shit in your relationship, smack a title on it, and then say, voila, it's going to be perfect. Or smack a ring on it and then say, voila, everything's going to be corrected in the marriage. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really work like that. It goes over like what we see. And I think that by a lot of the households in the community not having a positive male role model, it's like that's why you have that slave mentality where they take him from hut to hut and he making a baby here and he making a baby here and then you get what I'm saying? And they go here and he juggling the women here and then he does that because it's like a lot of black men don't know what it's like to have a man in their life, a positive man, to see him how they treat a woman, especially if you grew up in a single parent household and you just seeing your mother make ends meet. You seeing your mother do everything. That's how some of y'all grow up with that goddamn mommy mentality to get your girlfriend and you think she's supposed to cook, clean, shave your balls and do everything else. I'm sorry. Your turn. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, I think that when you're dating, before you start dating, you definitely should get to know yourself. And I say, like, during the quarantine, this should be the preparation stage. Exactly, getting to know yourself. If you know you have a pattern of toxic relationships,
absolutely.
If you need a coach or a therapist, take the time, do the work, so you can be healthy. Like, it takes two healthy people to have a healthy relationship. So I think you definitely need to know yourself, because once you know yourself and know your self-worth, then you won't allow men to treat you that way. Or women.
Look, there go my main man, Larry. Hey, Larry. Before, like 2 years ago, we touched on this, and Larry's a man, and Larry was saying that a lot of the times where's the issues because there's not a lot of, what you say, Larry? The world got a lot of beta males. He called them beta males and tadpoles or something.
So he's saying
like
they end up with alpha women?
Yeah, he's saying
think
that,
if that works,
men aren't men these days. Like he was saying that.
But what is a man? Like
What is
it's
a
all
man?
about the individual.
Y'all tell me what's a man.
Some men might not be fine with an alpha woman. Some women might be fine with a beta man because they like to take charge. I think that's fine if that works for that relationship. I don't think that men you have to be an alpha man and all of that. It's about what works for that couple. If some couples like that. Some women like to be that person.
I like for us to both be equal. Like for me, like we both got to be equal. Like your attitude got to be just like mine. If not just like mine, you got to at least meet mine. I can't be with a passive man. I can't be with a quiet man that's not, I don't even want to, you didn't told me, had me tell a damn.
Do you, like in your relationships, did y'all butt heads a lot?
What, in my past relationships?
Yeah, because you saying you're an alpha woman, right?
No, yeah, I'm very alpha.
So I'm saying if your men are alpha.
Yeah.
So I'm saying did y'all butt heads?
Yeah, we did butt heads, and we had to come to a lot of like, all right, I'm gonna talk to you when you calm down. You gonna talk to me when we calm down, and then we're gonna come here and we're gonna figure it out. Like here, recently, like in my situation, it's like something occurred that we both just can't seem to have, eye to eye on. We're both stubborn. We're both bullheaded, but we are able to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
But y'all both can't get past it.
We can. What I'm saying is, even though we are so similar in the attitudes and the I'm standing my ground and you standing your ground, we both know that eventually it comes a time where somebody got fold. Somebody can't be that, and we are able to do that. Like I'm able to be like, okay, cool, go ahead. He's able to be like, okay, this is what it is. You know what? You're right. But in the heat of the moment, no. Like it's like, all right, I said what I said. You did what you did. I did what I did. So it's like, what's the problem? But then it's like, well, it can't be that too big of a problem because you still in. So we do have conversations. So we do have a conversation, and we can have a conversation. I'm not saying that we always have to agree, and I'm not saying that two bullheaded people can't be in a relationship. I believe you can. Two bullheaded people can be in a relationship, but y'all both have to get to the point where as though it's like, okay, he or she has calmed down enough, and now we can have this conversation. It can't be I'm talking at you. You get what I'm saying? It has to be okay, let's come to an understanding.
But I know you say y'all like dealing with something now, like how.
No, I said we dealt with something
where
we both were butting heads on it. We both were butting heads on it. It took a minute. I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes it take months. It took a minute.
That's probably.
But
I mean, if that's your relationship, I'm just not your relationship, but
right.
If it's taking months, and I'm just saying other relationships or in general, then someone need to be able to be a beta. Basically, that's why I think that it's an issue if you both are alpha, and I'm not everyone relationship that works for you, but
my shit is good.
If you're alpha, that's a month. I mean, that's a long time to be at each other's throats.
But people do it. You got people in marriages who the hell sleep in twin beds and go sleep in the other room and in the basement.
Yeah,
so you do. So it's like
research shows that usually it needs to be an alpha and a beta in a relationship for it more so to work. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that's the world we live in. Like a lot of people, I can't.
But I think it's fine if a woman is an alpha and a man is a beta. I don't think that. Yeah, that's an issue. Like I think it's fine if a man is a stay-at-home dad.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it's fine if a man is a stay-at-home dad. Shit, I think it's even better if I could just be a stay-at-home everything. Right. I do. I think that we can have some stay-at-home men. You know what I'm saying? Some stay-at-home dads. Long as they don't get bored or anything. Hey Neil, long as they don't get bored and stuff like that. It all depends on that individual person. Right. You do have some women that's like, no, my man is not staying home. And do you have some men who feel like that they aren't staying home and they aren't okay? I haven't ever been in a relationship with somebody who's okay with staying home and twiddling their thumbs. Like I've always had like a man's man. Like, no, I gotta get up and go get my own. I'm not dependent on a woman to feed me, clothe me, and do all of those things like that. Like even when I blow up, he ain't got the work, but you gonna be working for me. He could be a security guard, a driver, or something, or we're gonna work on, getting you established, somewhere, or you have your own thing. It's okay with that too, because a lot of times, like I said,
but work on getting them established. This will probably change the topic a little bit. Work on getting them established. Is that what he wants?
If that's what he wants.
But I'm saying, because some people will be fine with just sitting at home while you make the money.
Yeah,
so you'll have to be okay.
You got to be a damn good man for that.
So you'll have to be okay with dating. Like I think, like in situations like that, before you blow up or something like that, if you're dating someone or they're like on your way up to the top, if they stand at home and you out there making the money, I think that you have to be okay with them always being that person, because then you will be dating someone's potential. Like, oh well, once I blow up, I can get him in this position. He might not want to be in that position.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like that, but I would consider that. I don't care if you sit at home, you stay home. You know what I'm saying? As long as you doing something, because y'all know I don't like to clean. So it might work out for me. But I'm just saying, I don't really. I mean, I feel like everybody. I couldn't be in a relationship with somebody that wouldn't let me, or where I couldn't be myself. I would feel suffocated. I am a person. I'm very transparent. What you see is what you get. And, you know, I'm not for everybody. I know I'm not for everybody, and everybody ain't for me. And it's like a lot of times we can't take things personal. We take a lot of things personal. You can sit up here and say, "Hey, fucking Claude, you ain't for me. You're a great man, Claude, for somebody that want that in you. But don't make you feel like you're shit because I feel like Claude ain't the man for me." And I think that happens a lot of times, like even being in a relationship when things go on and people can be inconsistent and things like that. We will tend to make it about us. You know what I'm saying? If the relationship doesn't work, if it comes to an end, we'll make it about us. Oh my gosh, maybe I should change my hair. Maybe I should have did this. Maybe I should do it. And it's like, no, you are fine. You were fine before when he got with you. Don't look at yourself like you flawed because this motherfucker inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? We do that as people. And men can do it too. Once the quarantine and stuff is over, there's so many dudes, they better stick with their words. It's like, I gotta come on there. I got because. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like men aren't as vocal as women or express themselves. Some men don't know how to really express themselves, which sometimes leaves your partner to play and fucking find a clue. You know, mystery emotion. Where can I find your emotion? In the library with the candlestick beside the Maya Angelou poem book. You know? So I mean, those things like that, you guys. I don't.
And that's a red flag. If someone can't express their emotions, anyone who's dealing with that, if you meet someone who can talk about their emotions and let you know what's going on with them, then that might not be the person for you.
Well, you think so? Some people might have to write their thoughts down.
Some people need that. Well, I mean, that writing them down is still a way that they can express their emotions to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's fine.
May not get it,
but I'm talking about
but
people, like, I can't date someone who is not showing the emotions. Like, I can't do that. So that's not going to work for me.
Come from the motionless co-host.
I'm not emotional.
The motionless co-host who always got something to say to me.
Who always is trying to help people come up with a plan for them so they can know what they want when they about to get into a relationship. Because a lot of, like, again, marriage, the divorce rate is 49% because a lot of people get into these relationships and they don't have these uncomfortable conversations. Mm-hmm. So I just encourage people and my clients to have these uncomfortable conversations about everything that you can think of that might raise something in you, that might be a trigger for you. If it's cheating, if it's your finances, like I ain't going back to the hood, you're going to need to make sure your finances are up to par as well. So you need to have these conversations. That's what I'm about. I'm about having those uncomfortable conversations early on.
So let's see Raymond to the comments. Raymond said, as a man, we've been told not to show emotions. It's a sign of weakness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what I've been hearing a lot. Right. May said that's bullshit, Ray. But, you know,
I think that a lot of times in the black community, men are not
they're not just telling you I'm
being
Asian.
able to
I'm black
well, I'm speaking for me then. They are told if you show a sign of emotions and all of that, mm-hmm. that's a sign of weakness. Mm-hmm. However, now that you're older and you know that that's not the case for you, then you still need to be able to express yourself.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know how. You gotta understand, everybody comes from different backgrounds and different childhoods. Some people were abused and they can't express themselves. So again, a lot of the times, like, I wouldn't really just shun away somebody who couldn't express themselves. I would want to know, like, why is it that you can't express yourself before I say we're in a relationship? I would want to know, why is it? Because I'm pretty sure. But again,
like, if you ever always hear me say a red flag is not, it shouldn't be a deal breaker. It's something to become curious about. So if someone can't express their emotions, yes, then you become curious about it and we talk about it. And then we create a plan that can help you. So if you need to write it down and then
yeah, but you just were saying to cancel them off all the way if they can't express themselves. It's a red flag.
So a red flag is not a deal breaker. Again, a red flag is something to become curious about, which I've said on previous shows in the past. Okay? I've always said that a red flag is something that is triggering in you. So for me, I need someone who can express their emotions. So I would say, this is what I'm getting from you. I need you to express your emotions. Let me know what you're going through. Let me in. Yeah. Be vulnerable. If you
knock.
Yeah,
who there? Let me in. Emotions. How you know? Ask Coach Nick. So Grady said men are more logical, women are more ethical. That's just how it is. So since you're a man, explain that. Can you explain that?
What do
you mean by that? Like, elaborate some more. You know what I'm saying? Elaborate some more. Another question for those who are watching. I want to know, as for men, the men that are watching, as a man, when you have issues in your relationship and you speak to your woman about them, or you may not speak to your woman about them, why do you instantly go outside of your relationship to find the solution? Because some people may feel like, I've heard some women, a woman has told me that her husband cheating saved her marriage. Shit don't make sense to me.
Why is that the case? Her husband cheated, saved
I
her
can't.
marriage.
You feel me? I can't. I'm not going to judge because she or he, they may be watching. But she said that her husband cheating saved her marriage.
Oh, because they were able to come to the table and express themselves and talk about expectations and agreements.
Honey, child, don't ask me because y'all know, I don't know, but I'm cheating husband.
But she said that saved her marriage. So I'm saying, what was it that saved her marriage? Was
she
that
said,
the case?
She said that it saved her marriage because it allowed her to have a conversation, allowed them to have a conversation, and then allowed her to see what she wasn't doing. That's a little deep. You feel me? You know, that's a little deep because you already know. My husband, I'm even gonna be in booking or you gonna be 6 feet
What
under.
was it that her husband felt like he was missing? I would say, but
I'm not sure because we didn't really get into all of that. She just said
they coming to you with half a secret.
She just said. Some people do come with half a secrets because
tell them give you the whole thing, not half.
When you don't know somebody, a lot of the times, or if you're new here, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're new to Candy Coated Secrets, go to Candy Coated Secrets Facebook group, Instagram, and YouTube. You know, they trusted me with it, and to be able to tell it without telling it. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not that person where I'm gonna like beat the story out of you. You're gonna give it to me. People are gonna give you what they want. But maybe I could go back and ask her. So why the coach want to know?
I'm just curious because I'm just saying like what I got from it when you said save the marriage. I was just thinking like, okay, then they were able to come to the table and just talk about. Had those hard conversations that they weren't able to have before.
So Chanel said cheating could allow them to realize what was being neglected in the relationship. Yeah, Chanel, I think maybe that's partially I think that probably was what she was saying. Like she was able to see other things. She a better person than me though, because I'd be like, hold up. You mean to tell me we couldn't have this conversation? We couldn't figure this out? You ran over here to Bobby Joe? But you know,
but what he was taught how to do. Maybe he felt like I needed to go outside to be pleased or something. I mean, but if it saved her marriage, it worked in her favor, I guess.
So Queen Cavell said conversation and beat his ass. Next. So Raymond said, y'all better take notes from these hoes on how to please your man. And that's funny that you said that because it is a lot of people who do feel like, you know, that the woman should pay attention to what the other women are saying that they're doing and what they're not doing when it comes to the relationship with the man, because you might be able to learn something. That's going to be a topic for another day. I don't even want to get into that. He said that y'all hoes need to take notes on how to please your man. We're gonna get into that, Ray. I can't wait for the quarantine to lift up because you're gonna come right back here and have this conversation with me.
Sexually?
Okay?
Is that what you're getting from it? Like sexually?
No, I'm talking about all the way around.
No, I'm saying from the
you talking about from what Raymond said?
Yeah, that's
notes?
what you was talking about, right?
Yeah, on how to please your man.
From the hoes. That's what he said.
He said the hoes. So he said the hoes Yeah, take notes from these hoes on how to please your man. I didn't look at it like it was a sexual thing. I looked at it like you have some men who are really only cheating conversationally, emotionally wise. You know what I'm saying? You do have some men who, not all men are stepping out. I don't believe it's sexually related. Notes to be taken. Like you said, tell your partner you appreciate them. You might not show appreciation.
You gotta find out what your partner.
You might not say thank you.
How your partner need to be appreciated. Like you had those conversations.
Yeah, you might not say thank you. You know, you might come in the house and instantly just start yapping and yelling without saying, "Hey, how was your day today? What's going on? What can we do? How can I make your day better? What's going on? Do you need anything? Who got on your nerves today at work?" Sometimes I feel like when we get into relationships, we'll get so caught up in our own personal stuff that sometimes we can forget that there's somebody here. And then you do have some people when they deal with things. Like me, I turn into a hermit crab. When I'm dealing with things, I turn into a hermit crab. It's like, let me deal with it. It's nothing to do with you. I want to talk to you about it when I want to talk to you about it, but I'm probably trying to process it so that I can better deal with it. It doesn't, don't take it personal. So, you know, everybody is different. You have to truly know your partner. Raymond said men better take notes from these girl work husbands. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, a man or a woman to work hard to get you, didn't get you and be like, all right, you wasn't even worth the catch. You wasn't worth the catch, honey. He said that's right. That's the Aquarius in you. Yes, brother. Aquarius is the best folks. Sorry, sidebar. Aquariuses are the best. You know, we hermit crabs. We love hard. We only let certain people get in here. You guys, make sure that you share. Go join Candy Coated Secrets. Go follow the coach. Join his dating page, his dating group, his Instagram.
That's my dating group on Facebook, Dating Made Simple with Coach Nick Love, because I believe that dating is really simple. I think that people make it hard.
And the crazy can only hide in the closet. No longer than.
Yeah, crazy can only hide in the closet. Oh, I have to mix it up now.
I said it. All I had to do was say 10 minutes or something.
Crazy can't hide in the closet longer than 10 minutes.
He said crazy can't hide in the closet.
Think about that, pacing yourself to get to know someone.
And again, don't always be so quick to go and run to the arms of another man or another woman or give up on your relationship. But don't tolerate and deal with just anything either. You know what I'm saying? It's a fine line between love and stupid. And some of you hoes is flirting with it.
And I would say get comfortable with having those uncomfortable conversations. Ask the questions that you know are triggers for you. Have those conversations, because if you had those conversations and you express your expectations and then you both agree, then you can hold the other person accountable. Yeah,
and also hold yourself accountable. Don't always place the blame on your partner. Be like, you know what? That was wrong. I messed up. I shouldn't have did that.
Oh yeah, you should. Everyone should be able to apologize. Yeah.
What did he say? I apologize. Oh, honest and true. Go ahead, because I know I was wrong.
I don't know.
How you know that? Y'all see how he did? You look like a fool. Look like a fool up here with the ex-coach Nick.
Hashtag ex-coach Nick.
Hashtag ex-coach Nick. Crazy can't hide in the closet longer than 10 minutes.
That's right.
And people only treat you how you let them, right? And I believe that too. You have to teach people how to treat you. So you guys, make sure that you tune in. We will be here next Wednesday. I can't wait till the quarantine is lifted, because we are going to have a single and mingle and dating party. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get ready for the reunion. You know, Gabrielle like to call it the reunion. If y'all missed the 1-year anniversary of Candy Coated Secrets, shame on you. You ain't gonna want to miss the 2nd year anniversary of Candy Coated Secrets. Coach came. Coach was there, very supportive. He showed up. And just make sure, tell your friends, add them to the group. Participate. I appreciate everybody that's been participating in the group and stuff like that. Make sure you share the show. It don't cost nothing to share. All you gotta do is hit the share button. Hit the share button. Hit the share button. Go to the Candy Coated Secrets likes page. Follow me on YouTube and Instagram, and join me on Facebook. And make sure that you guys stay tuned. We will be back here next week. Anything you want to say, Coach?
No, thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
God, he's showing so much gratitude. We might have to be together.
You gotta show gratitude, especially now.
Because he is just showing all his gratitude, probably because he think when he leave out of here, I might drop dead or something. You know how they do. It's a motive why he's showing all this
Positive
gratitude.
energy in the atmosphere.
And we're going to see you next week at 7. See